Hey, howdy and hello, and welcome to The Crazy Train, the comedy podcast with no rails. I'm your host, Rob Wade, and I'm joined, as always, by my rock, the incomparable Blake Harmer.
Megan Trainor? Oh, no, Meg Trailer.
Yeah, shut up, Meg Trailer. And Brad Harmer Barnes is with us.
Nice rolling sound.
Hey, wait, what? Anyway, so if you've never heard The Crazy Train before, and this is your first time aboard...
We're so sorry.
Yeah, we apologise in advance in the good-natured way, for what you're about to receive is a comedy show with no rails. Nobody knows where The Crazy Train goes. We take questions from listeners, that could be you one day, and we just go where the conversation takes us. So if that sounds like your bag, welcome aboard. If it doesn't, get to fuck Ireland. So on that subject, first of all, how's everybody doing? Is everybody well?
Yeah.
Good. Yes. You don't have a mouthful of drink. That sort of falls flat. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been fine. Yourself?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, not been cripplingly ill.
No, well, that's good. That's always nice, you know.
Yeah, no, life's continuing apace.
Yes. Well, that's, that happens, you know, when existence is the thing.
Life's good in general, really, isn't it, this year so far?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong. Blake?
Yeah, it's been all right.
Cool. Okay, now, can I get you to ghostwrite my memoirs? It's been all right.
This is why Blake is never allowed to write my back for the DVDs.
I don't know, there's a bloke and stuff. And,
yeah,
Sam Neill pulls his eyes out. That's pretty cool.
It's one of those space opera type of thing,
There's a fella in a big black armour thing. He's pretty cool. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Not Star Trek.
Oh, man. Yep.
Not enough red shirts.
Yeah. This is why...
Not enough red shirts, 2 out of 10.
Yeah, this is true.
Which isn't true for The Last Jedi.
No, it's true, yeah. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah, the whole thing of a load of red shirts dying. I should have been really proud.
Yeah, you should have been. That's probably your favourite bit, I'm sure. Yeah.
I was just pleased we got to see a light whip on screen.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. All right, so we've got a few questions.
Awesome.
So when I say a few, we got shitloads.
There's a tome the size of the Encyclopedia Britannica on the
We
desk.
could go for days at this point, but I'm going to pick, select few that I think will get us going.
You've got random.org open on screen.
There is a bit of that. And even though it's not, you could be forgiven for thinking that given some of the subject matter. So Mark at Gamrudding, so this is go on Twitter. Mark, hello Mark. Asks us, if you had to pick one, what would you rather have? A horn or a tusk? Interesting question, isn't it? Because they're kind of the same, but not.
Yeah. I don't know. How big's the tusk?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually, because if it's like seal
if it's
size...
like a mammoth tusk.
Yeah, mammoth tusk would be quite cumbersome, I would say. Probably.
Would it be relative to the size of your own head, then?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, otherwise, you'd tip up, right? Because
we don't... Yeah, if we had a walrus tusk.
Yes. Hey, clonk.
That does then raise a question of what is a horn relative to the size of your own head?
Enough that you can support your body weight. You can support the weight of it on your own normal human neck, I guess.
Yeah, but you can get like little billy goat horns, or you can get like antlers.
Let's go for
unicorn horn.
Unicorn horn. Probably.
Yeah, I was thinking of a horn along a rhino.
Happy medium. Yeah, let's go for something sensible, like a rhino horn. Yeah.
Oh, it's just big enough that it's not weighing me down, yet I can still defend myself from predators.
That's a massive consideration for Blake. I don't know, Mark, I'm not sure how many you've listened to, how familiar is. Blake is constantly terrified of predator attack.
Well, they're just like really invisible and everything.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they got that laser shit going on.
I know.
And they got tusks.
They got tusks and they can mimic your voice. Oh, yeah, they got tusks.
Yeah,
that works.
Yeah.
Or weird.
So would you rather have a face like a predator or a predator like a face?
Come on, man. It's a simple question.
Discuss.
Ugh. Oh, discuss. Sorry.
If you had a horn...
No, discus.
Oh.
If you had a horn, you could grind it down like Hellboy, I suppose.
You could.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah.
And it looks badass when he does
and
that.
it might be an aphrodisiac as well. Who knows?
Yeah, and I might be able to...
How does Brad horn?
But if you have tusks, you can do digging easier.
You can. This is true. Is that a problem you run into on your day-to-day life?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's the difference between Blake and I, and always has been. Which is, my attitude is, if I had a horn, I could at least grind it down so no one would notice. Whereas Blake goes, well, I could get truffles out of it. It's just constantly on the search for topsoil fungi, my brother.
Yeah, there is that. Plus,
I could do the truffle shuffle.
He also has this whole thing about digging is a big part of his day, and I don't understand why. Because I've known you many years, and I've never seen you even try it. Is that just because of lack of tusks?
Well, I have a life outside of you, Rob.
That's pretty funny because you totally fucking don't. No, it's true. There are like 13 days out of every fortnight. I guess. It's that,
Some people are like, "Oh, did you get much of your weekend?" Nah, I didn't do much. When I say nah, I didn't
avoided,
do much.
Rob.
When I'm saying, "Oh, nah, I didn't get out so much," just imagine me digging for truffles, and there you are.
Yeah. Just spent the weekend avoiding Rob. Damn.
I think it's got a loaded question. I could just got his mental image of Blake of the matchy Santos. Would you rather have a horn or a tusk? And Blake going, "Oh, I'll have the tusk," and he just has these massive tusks spread out of his bottom jaw. And I say, "I'll have a horn," and they just literally hand me a bugle.
I don't think it's I get a musical instrument.
I don't think we're allowed to have fun with the duality of meaning here.
Well, no, quite.
Oh, I've always got the horn.
What would you prefer to have? What would you prefer to have, Blake? An instrument or an obscure Kevin Smith film?
What are your thoughts, Rob?
Well, generally,
I mean, that's the concept of a show.
yeah, kind of. Rob slowly melts.
There's a gif.
It's one I really want to do now.
Can it be like one of those 2-hour YouTube videos, but a bit like the burning fireplace that you can have on at Christmas?
Rob melting slowly.
It's just Rob melting slowly over 2 hours.
I can do it picture in picture, so it's both like a fireplace and me melting next to the fireplace because presumably I'm made of some sort of water product, ice perhaps. Treacle.
Look forward to East 14 next Christmas.
Yeah,
the fact, end of the video, you're like, oh, he was made of ice. I didn't see that one coming.
That is the twist that ends the crazy train. So turns out Rob's made of ice, ending in summer.
Yeah. What are the odds after Blake being a centaur and all that sort of stuff?
To be honest, once that happened, all bets were off, really, weren't they?
Yeah.
Anything can happen now.
I did have an ending plan for the crazy train if we did ever end it. Did I ever tell you that plan?
I don't know if you ever told it on the air. Do it anyway.
Okay, I just wanted, if we ever end the crazy train, and I'm not saying we ever will, what I'd like to do is just kind of just be like, okay, well, thanks everyone for the crazy train. This is the final episode, and it all just gently fades out. There's a pause, and then you just hear Omega, and that's what it'd be like if we did a podcast.
And then I'm trying to tell a story I originally got to.
Sweeps.
Captain Jack Sparrow. I'm still trying to think about tusks. Yeah. I wouldn't want. Just thinking about tusks. I wouldn't want mammoth tusks that sort of big out of the front. I mean, obviously at the same time, I wouldn't want them big out the side either. I don't know why I specified front as if it was a problem. Big out the tusks from the top is a horn, surely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You sort of broken. That's loopholed the question like a motherfucker. I won't have a tusk. I won't have a horn. I'll have a top tusk.
Like vertical tusks.
Oh, vertical. So just kind
like
of
an orc.
Yeah, like an orc. Yeah, okay. No, I don't know. I wouldn't want them too big. It's like with the movie we were watching the other day when we noticed that if it shut its mouth, was it Gamera?
Oh, yeah.
If it shut its mouth, it would poke its eyes out.
Yeah.
Because its bottom teeth were so big and pointy and angled towards the eyes. It's like
blind himself.
Yeah. It's like if it. Heaven forfend he ever has to express disdain in a calm and rational manner. So he's just grinding his teeth and suddenly, that little kid is just like, what the fuck, Gamera? Credits.
Hurry up and put your eyes back in.
Yeah. There's a giant pterodactyl thing that breathes fire and shit. Yeah. I'm sure there's a dartboard in probably in manga studios at least. It's a bunch of killer
wasps. Oh, we were close.
Yeah, wasps.
A bunch of killer tusks.
Yeah.
What? I don't know. I'm really high on mushrooms.
They're a bunch of killer tusks and a bunch of benign seals. It's the tusks that are the murderous ones, but you don't realise it's the twist, you see.
And it will be hentai.
That board's only got one option. Yes, it has.
And there will be 12 tentacles.
I think I'm going to go with horn purely because I don't like going to a dentist at the best of times.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. And I can imagine the upkeep on those would be ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm not going to fuck my dentist up with them. That's about it.
Well, is that an incentive, though? How much you like your dentist? It's tricky. I think I would probably go for horn. I would go for probably 2 small ones rather than 1 big one.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of at the side here where my hairline recedes. Just buy myself a few more years of, deception.
Yeah.
Hair wax can only do so much. Blake, definitive tiebreaker. Oh wait, no, we've both said horns, so it doesn't really matter. You can have an answer.
Well,
a husk or a fawn?
Well, I'm still pro truffle, so I'll have tusks.
All right, fair enough. Tusks it is.
Well,
there you go, Mark.
Blake is pro truffle.
You heard it here first. Blake wants tusks. Brad and Rob want horns.
Please don't stop subscribing.
Yeah, please stick with us. So, Jeremy wrote in. What's he say?
Need to record that.
Yeah, I probably should.
It makes a sting.
Yeah. Well, it's easier just to do it live, you know. So says Bill O'Reilly, I guess. So Jeremy wrote in a series of questions. He's been prolific, and we've probably got enough to do several episodes.
I think he has slow Tuesdays.
I think he goes through fits and starts of having fuck all to do and then everything to do.
Yep.
So I think we just happened to catch him on one of the good days. So
Self-employment.
So his first question reads, can we consider The Masters of the Universe a classic just because it came out a while ago? I'd argue that The Railway Children, chosen purely at random, I'm not sure what his criteria are, but there you go, is more of a timeless classic. What makes a movie a classic in your eyes?
Oh, he means for film?
Yeah.
Master of the Universe. Okay.
Yeah.
Cartoons.
Yeah, I mean, it's the film as opposed to the series,
Dolph Lundgren vehicle.
Unless there's a really good Railway Children series I've not seen.
But it's a book originally, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But I don't imagine he's talking about a Master of the Universe book.
Well, there was a series of Ladybird books, but
yeah, I suppose.
about it.
I suppose.
Skeletor's Ice Attack was the one I had.
Oh, okay. I feel like I probably did read one, but I've forgotten a lot of my childhood for reasons I don't really know, because I don't remember.
Because trauma.
No, I don't remember.
In the book, did Skeletor slowly melt over a 2-hour YouTube video?
No,
Skeletor melted.
No, but I feel if we're ever going to get Frank Langella on E14, that's the way we're going to do it.
I think if there's ever a hope of getting it, I think
Nice sculpture of Frank Langella slowly melting throughout the podcast.
I don't know what DVD rentals are like on Get to Fuck Island, but I've never really heard anyone consider Masters of the Universe a classic, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I wonder if sometimes if these are born out of conversations he has with somebody and he's like, I wonder what they think.
I disagree with this person. I better shout at the crazy train.
I don't know.
Like some sort of Twitter-based trash wizard.
Yeah, kind of.
Hey, Rob, shut up.
Yo, Batman.
No, talk to strangers.
Yo, Batman, shut up.
I mean, I have fond memories of the Master of the Universe movie. It may have been the first live-action film I saw at the cinema, actually.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the first one I saw was. I do remember seeing Addams Family, at least the second one, maybe the first one as well at the cinema, but I don't know if it was the first one I saw.
I remember doing a live action, so I remember doing a live show with you, live improv show with you, and the Master of the Universe came up, and I said, I can't tell if it's a good film or not, because as soon as I watch it, I just feel like I'm 6 years old again, and I can't even review it or qualify it.
Yeah.
And you just said, what, He-Man and the Magic Keytar? No, it's not a good film.
I do sometimes wonder if these conversations are born out of some conversation he has with a similarly geeky-minded friend, and then he's like, I wonder what the guys think of this, because he seems to have. There's a lot of questions that they spin off from, like, what's written on the questions on the list is the actual question bit, but there's usually a little preamble that kind of leads me into where it comes from.
I don't know if I've ever considered Master of the Universe. It's a film I own for nostalgia reasons. I don't know if I've ever really considered it a classic.
No.
I don't know if any movie Dolph Lundgren's ever made could be considered a classic, really. Maybe Rocky IV.
Expendable? No. I'm only kidding. Fuck me, I'm only kidding.
I mean, there's a lot of fun to be had in that film. I think it is quite like a space opera, Flash Gordon-y, Star Wars-y type.
Yeah.
A kid's sci-fi movie.
Sure.
I think it is good fun. Someone once pointed out to me it's not a very good Master of the Universe movie, but it's actually a very good New Gods movie with the characters' names switched around. And it's like, he's actually a better Darkseid than he is Skeletor.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, and so I generally enjoy it, but I don't know I'd ever call it a classic. And so Railway Children, that's a bank holiday movie, isn't it?
I guess, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it's that kind of slightly twee, sort of,
throwing their knickers in the air.
Yeah, that sort of thing. It's usually period pieces, and maybe not combined with the throwing the knickers in the air, because that's a messy combination.
Yeah, but like every Sunday,
they just period piece everywhere. But it's usually something kind of, of an era in terms of either when the film was made or when the film is set. You know, like I can imagine it's the kind of thing where maybe for a bit of a, come down after a big Easter meal, they might stick Dunkirk on or something. Yeah. It's not going to be an upper, is it? It's not designed to be an up.
No, it's got to be that kind of Boxing Day movie. It has to be something relatively twee and innocuous. Like,
inoffensive.
Probably the darkest one you can get away with is Great Escape has kind of become a traditionally Boxing Day.
Yeah,
film.
yeah. Warhorse seems to be getting that way as
really?
well. I don't know
Okay.
if that's just a perception I have, maybe because last time I was around somebody's house for a holiday, it was on.
Yeah.
And if it's just a thing of, I associate it with holiday viewing now.
Yeah. I don't think we're ever going to get into that situation of Nan and Grandad are coming around for Boxing Day dinner. You better get Requiem for a Dream queued up.
Yeah, Auntie Kath loves that ass to ass. It's her favourite scene in all of cinema. Did I mention she's a moron? Silly Auntie Kath.
Yes, every time you mention her.
Yeah.
You once wrote it in her birthday card by mistake.
Yeah, that's true.
Fortunately,
Yeah.
she didn't notice because she's a fucking moron.
Yeah, there is that.
Every time the fridge moves, an angel gets its wings.
Yeah,
That
that was a weird.
classic.
It's weird. There's
Fridge mover.
there's certain lines you could work into a story, and it would really change the dynamic of that scene. Like that, every time a fridge moves, an angel gets its wings would go really juxtaposed against Seven.
Yes.
Especially in Morgan Freeman, boys.
Yeah.
How's that walking coming along? It's good, right?
Yeah. What do you think of the Master of the Universe movie, or do you have no opinion on it?
I like it. I mean, it's I made I busted its chops at that live show you referenced, which I should get round to releasing one day because I do have. I went through and actually put it to a static track and it's ready to upload. I just keep forgetting to do it, so maybe I'll do that at some point. Maybe for the 5th year anniversary of the Crazy Train, which is coming up. Yeah, there you go. So maybe that's the solution because I think it's also isn't it maybe even the 10th year of that 10 years since that show.
We can't be coming up 10 years of E14.
I think so. Yes.
What thing that's to
October. I'll say October might. October rings a bell.
Crazy Train 10 years of E14 must be.
That sounds about right. Yeah. There may be scope to do stuff. Who knows? We shall see. Let us know what you'd want us to do. There you go. You're right in.
To fuck off.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. It's what you all asked for.
We're
Bye, everyone.
actually found it. Yes. It's off the coast of Morocco.
That's a British.
Yeah. Well,
Who'd have thought that it was in the map all the time?
yeah. Come back and it's like, whoa.
What's your opinion of the Master of the Universe movie then? With Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella.
It's been years.
I scored a
Since,
knockoff.
I'm not going to lie. It's been years since I've seen it.
That's true of me as well, to be honest. It's
I remember liking it as a kid. Like Brad said, I'm still waiting for Skeletor to actually come back. He promised he'd be back.
He did. This is true.
He's still not out.
Well, actually, if you think of Frost Nixon as a sequel, then he's back as that.
What a twist.
Yeah, it's the easiest way to it's the easiest way to reconcile.
It's the He-Man's, it's the Master of the Universe sequel nobody saw coming.
I'll get you here,
There
man.
was a while of, certainly even like as recently as a year ago, they were talking about doing another. They've been trying to do another Master of the Universe movie for about 5 years.
Yeah.
now. John Woo was attached for the longest time.
Okay.
Which, filled us with dread.
That might work.
And he's moved on since then. But apparently, there's still a script kicking around. It's something they want to do.
Okay.
I mean, even if it's one of those Hellraiser deals where they've got to make the movie so they can keep hold of a license.
Yeah. I mean, it may be that it's one of those movies that now we're in this age of pop culture is everywhere, and everybody seems to be glomming onto the old stuff.
Yeah.
It might work.
Last is also
Commercially,
it's also a bit Star Warsy. It's a bit superhero-y
Yeah.
in the current climate. It could work.
Yeah, totally. Because people also, I mean, we talked about this the other day, not on a recording, but we talked about the Marvel stuff and how even though they're still going, the shine has come off them a little bit.
Mhm.
I realise Black Panther's done very well, but that's not
That's
just
but the
down to
trend.
its
Yeah.
it's not just down to its cinematic quality. It's also got other stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, as a general thing, the movies seem to be, they're on a slight downward trend. I would say not it's not like crashing and burning.
Yeah.
It's on a slight downward trend in
I
terms
think
of
Infinity War might buck that, but we'll
maybe
see.
it might be the nail in the coffin. To be honest,
may be,
might be.
yeah.
I'm worried it's going to be a clusterfuck. That's my big concern
it's
about
bad.
it.
It's going to be really
Not even
annoying.
bad, just too busy. Like there's going to be too many people struggling for screen time, and you've also got three of each, like 2 or 3 of each personality type clashing in those
Yeah,
films.
I was sure originally the plan was it was going to be a 2-part movie as well, but they
Yeah, that
seem
was the
to, they
plan,
seem
yeah.
to have scrapped that.
Well,
now.
the next one is going to be something. It's going to be
It'll be something
related
else.
to it, but it's not like a direct sequel. I think.
Oh, okay. Because I was of the impression
sure
it was
you
still
told
going to
me
be. Huh?
I thought you told me that.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
I came to you in a dream. And I forgot it.
Well,
Up a dream.
the 2-part movie has
I saw
changed.
like his captured tweet from Kevin Feige. His name is Feige.
Phonetically, it looks like it should be Feiger, but it's not.
Yeah, we all know who he means anyway. And he said,
Feiger.
he said the title for the next one after Infinity Wars is decided, but from
it's
what
not
he's
Infinity
seen,
War
from
Part
what
2.
he's seen on the internet, no one has guessed what it is.
Okay.
Either. I'd love it to be a Skrull War.
Oh, please be Avengers Frost Nixon.
I'd love them to do a Skrull War. That way, just any of the dodgy movies from the past 10 years, they can just go, "Oh, he was a Skrull."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Edward Norton, that was a Skrull. That was
For the Dark World.
Yeah.
Skrull.
Yeah.
All Natalie Portman.
The entire film was
Natalie
a Skrull.
Portman.
Yeah.
Skrull.
But as far as recently as a year ago, they approached Frank Langella to be Scarlet from a new Master of the Universe movie. So he may yet come
It's
back.
almost like an Ian McDiarmid thing where because he was under prosthesis originally, it might work later anyway because he's older, but it wouldn't need as much prosthesis to make him look the part.
Yes, you already look like a skull.
I love
we can make you look like an old suitcase. Oh, no need.
Now, the guys who do that extreme prosthetic makeup, though, every time I've seen an interview or anything with a makeup artist, they're always like, it doesn't work unless the guy wearing it is putting the effort in.
Yeah.
I've always said about Doug Bradley, who played Pinhead for most of the Hellraiser movies. It would have been so easy for him to kind of just stand there and let the makeup do the acting. But every time I've seen him talk, he just puts so much work into the character and into the performance. And it just kind of... He's not just a prop. He's putting a lot of work in as well.
There's a performance involved. It's like CGI Tarkin. It would work fine if it was just somebody going through the motions, but Guy Henry performs, and thus it works really well.
Watching Rogue One a couple of weeks ago, I actually like how every now and again you can see a bit of Guy Henry in there as well. It's like a composite performance. I really like that there's a bit of him in there as well.
I think the more I think about it, the happier I am that they did it.
Yeah.
Because it would have been so easy to just have him facing the window the whole time. You just have to deal with the CG reflection. I thought that's what they do. And then he turned around and started walking. I'm like, what the fuck?
You said he was dead.
What else haven't you told me?
Wait, is Christopher okay? Oh.
Yeah, he's still dead. Christopher
I'm at the life in my moment of triumph.
And again, I remember the makeup artists who worked on Ian McDiarmid in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
They were working from the reference photos from Return of the Jedi to recreate the makeup for after he's been Force Lightning or whatever the eventual explanation of that was.
And put his hand in the plug socket.
And they were like, they did it all, and they just stood there and go, it doesn't look right. It's not. Something's not right. I said, Ian, does this look all right to you? And he looked in the mirror and was like, no, looks the same. And they said, then he did the Emperor face and it looked right. It was so much of it was him.
He makes that.
Yeah.
That whole part.
I genuinely think still one of the best makeup jobs I've ever seen is in The Exorcist. And everyone goes
it's
on.
good. It's dated very well.
Everyone goes on about Reagan, the little girl, the makeup work they do on her.
Yeah.
And that is very good.
Sure.
But what they forget is Max von Sydow was only about in his 40s at the time.
Yeah.
And the age makeup they put on him is how he looks now.
That's very true. Yeah.
That makeup gets, and he wasn't that famous at the time, and everyone just assumed he was that old.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, nowadays they seem to do it more digitally, and they seem to do it in reverse direction rather than making people look older with it. They tend to start trying to make them look younger, and they've got so good at doing it. Like, you seen Civil War?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, young Tony Stark in Civil War, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
In Civil War, it's incredible.
Yeah,
and it works. I think that one works because it's a short thing.
Yeah,
but then I thought, oh, well, they put Tarkin on the screen. So, it's going to be like Civil War. And then he turns around and he has about 3 times more screen time. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, the more I love it. You know, that's. I need to revisit my ordering of the Star Wars movies because I haven't done it in a while. But I would be very surprised if Rogue One wasn't near or at the top.
Actually,
it's so fucking
there's
good.
one of the Captain America movies where Hayley Atwell's playing like a really aged Peggy Carter.
I think that's Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
That's
I assumed that was physical makeup, and it was CG and composite with her face and an old woman's face as well. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, really well done. Yeah, Winter Soldier's a fucking excellent movie all the way through.
There's no bad Captain America movie.
I don't think there is, I think all 3 are good. Yeah, I would agree. I think they're the strongest of certainly the strongest of the individual threads running through.
Yeah.
They're most consistent because Thor has been good shit, brilliant.
Okay,
because Ragnarok is,
but I agree
Ragnarok is, you'll love it. Ragnarok is wonderful.
Ragnarok is up there with Guardians in my opinion.
Guardians of the series has done well so
Guardians
far.
has done well. The first one was surprisingly good. I don't know if it's still.
I prefer the first one still.
Okay, but I think part of the reason it's so good is because it's nobody's. and it's like, oh, it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Plus, it's also a surprise because it's nobody you've heard of doing well. Whereas it might be
amazing.
A little bit of expectation might taint your understanding of.
Yeah.
Or
I must admit, I didn't really know the Guardians.
No, not at all. No, not even remotely close. I wonder if that's why people don't tend to like the big franchises across comic book movies as much, like Batman versus Superman, because they know those characters inside out. So there's very little.
Their new interpretations of that.
It's a bit seen it before, and it's a bit everyone's got their own interpretation of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think maybe part of that is just you can't. It's like when you make a video game movie, you can't do it shot for shot of the game because the people who played it go, this is boring. I know what's going to happen, and you can't do completely different because all the people who played the game will go, this isn't the game, so you can't win.
I really feel a good approach would be to not make movies of video games.
There are very few that works. There's very few that work.
Probably the original Silent Hill is probably the only one that stands up on its own.
That one's good. I mean, Resident Evil's fine. It's a good.
I'd say Silent Hill's the only one I would say was good.
It's a good in terms of being faithful. Yes, Resident Evil is good, but it's not the story. It's a sort of side story, and that it kind of works.
Resident Evil is fine as its own thing.
Yeah.
Silent Hill, I think, is I know it doesn't exactly follow the story of the show of the games, but it is close enough.
Retelling. Yeah,
it's close enough and has its own bits to make it work.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
and I still think that is the best video game adaptation.
I think I'd be
some
hard
people,
pressed to think
some
of another
people
one.
seem to think it's still Mortal Kombat, but I was just like,
That one's good. But
that's
it's
fun in a kind of punk rock Enter the Dragon sort of way.
That is and it's also the
same story,
and it's the cheesiest fucking film in the world.
Totally.
I want to do the director's cut where they put Kung Lao back in it.
I would like to see that.
So I don't know if it's ever been released.
No.
Because they
Not
talk
to my
about the
knowledge.
legend of Kung Lao, and in the director's or in the original cut before they had to cut it down for running time, when they're going through into the dark world to the final fight, they find Kung Lao.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of like an unfired Chekhov's gun otherwise.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit disappointing. It would have been nice to see that.
I think otherwise Kung Lao just appears right at the very beginning, and obviously Shang Tsung impersonates him at the end. That's about it.
Yeah, they don't address it properly.
No.
I still want the director's cut of Event Horizon, but it doesn't sound like that's ever going to happen.
No, I have a special a cut of it
It's
that's
a
slightly different.
2.5 hour cut originally.
Yeah,
with
I have a slightly
apparently like splatterpunk levels of gore in it.
Yeah, I heard the original was quite brutal. Yeah, I've got a version on Blu-ray next door that's kind of a director's more of a director's cut than more than theatrical. Maybe that's our first commentary. Who knows?
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. I'll probably just sit and watch it.
Funnily
Generally.
enough, I was looking
Brilliant
at
film.
trying to rebuy Terminator 2 as a digital download.
Oh yeah.
But at the moment, they only got the theatrical cut. They haven't got the extended cuts or the
Extended
ultimate
cut
edition.
doesn't change a lot for Terminator 2.
No,
adds a little bit.
but I think the ultimate edition cut that from the DVDs or Blu-ray, I think it was I thought had
The extra scenes they put in were nice, but they weren't.
no, it's
necessary.
it's not going to break the movie. I appreciate that, but it's not. I think they were welcome, and I think they added to the film really. So that's why I would like. If I got a copy, I would rather, or at least have the option to include it, rather than you can only have the theatrical.
I'll tell you where director's cuts make a huge difference. Leon. I watched
I've only seen the original release.
I didn't realise I'd bought the director's cut. I bought it on Apple TV. Other download services are available. I don't know if they have the director's cut.
Oh,
but
actually, I
it's
saw
not
it.
my job.
It was going for like a couple of quid. Recently.
Yeah, it was. I think it was £4 when I bought it.
Nice.
It's like,
I haven't seen it for a long time.
I love that film.
It's
It's
really- I
one of
remember
those
it being
ones
really
I
good.
remember very fondly from my childhood.
Yeah,
that for
same.
me is a classic.
Yeah, funnily enough, I almost bought it the other day.
Yeah, for the similar reasons, I'm sure. But that adds a ton of extra story stuff. Really reframes a lot of
That's intriguing.
a lot of the context.
Because I must admit, it has been a while since I watched it, so I'm not sure if I would remember every single bit they added.
Just Gary Oldman being amazing.
Gary
basically.
Oldman is so fucking ridiculously over the top. It's wonderful. Just he's just basically
He's just leaving teeth marks where Peter Stormare's already left.
yeah,
him.
basically just trying. They're both trying to bite through the same bit of table. Between them.
Gary Oldman's just amazing in general.
That's
Anyway,
the 80s buddy cop movie we need.
Yes, this
Gary
is true.
Oldman and Peter Stormare.
Oh man, I would watch the fuck out of that.
and I'm so happy he's got an Oscar now.
Yeah,
Peter Stormare's got an Oscar.
No, Gary Oldman.
maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
good enough.
Yeah, might have won.
Peter Stormare got a Best Actor for Churchill somehow.
He overrated so strongly in another film, he crossed over into Darkest Hour.
And somehow won an award.
Peter, if you're listening, we do genuinely love your stuff.
Yeah, we do. This is true.
Award.
You are the. Peter Stormare, if you're listening, and I have no reason to believe you're not, because our listeners are, as a conservative estimate, fucking millions. But yeah, if you're listening,
and you're welcome on the show to do an event horizon
absolutely,
commentary with us.
my god, yeah. And do you know what? I'd happily just sit and watch Constantine with him. I know he's in it for like 2.5 minutes.
He's brilliant in that.
He's great. He's so good. Or do a Let's Play of Until Dawn with him sat next to you. Oh my god.
No, I couldn't do it.
I could. Because I reckon he'd be really sedate and really chilled out. And just like,
I think
oh man, this is the first time I've actually seen it played through. I just
really
shouted into a booth.
Yeah, he said that really chilled out.
So I found out about that game. I saw one of the, I forget the characters' names, but one of the actresses from it.
Yeah.
She didn't know most of the story because she only saw and saw the script for her scenes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until she actually played the game she got the whole story of what happened to all the other characters.
Okay. I suppose if it's a choose your own adventure as well, of sorts, it's not so much the choice.
But I wonder how much did they actually interact with each other and how much it was interacting with stand-ins.
I would imagine it's probably stand-ins mostly.
Were they ever actually working together?
But this is it with voiceover. You're never sure, are you? You know, it's like, and even if you're working together, you've only got one booth at a time, or maybe two.
Yeah,
so you're going to be. Yeah, I mean, something like I can only imagine what Family Guy must be like to record. You know, the actual recording of it. The table reads, obviously, they get the whole cast around the table, but for recording the actual episodes, it seems like it's just one person saying lines into a thing. Next person goes, says their lines into a thing.
Yeah,
you know, I can't imagine it's that much different for most things. Anyway, what makes a movie a classic? Crazy, yeah, Peter Stormare. I'll go with that.
Peter Stormare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's the bomb in Constantine.
Well, I suppose you.
Yeah,
I suppose you can't reinterpret the Railway Children. So.
Oh God! Replace Jenny Agutter with Peter Stormare. Fuck me.
Knickers in the air. Just these enormous bloomers just swinging like a fucking pair of bowlers.
There's a Redux version where I just cast Peter Stormare as the train.
Crazy. Yeah.
Looks exactly like our logo.
Yeah, pretty much. Jesus, that's quite uncanny.
The Crazy Train with Peter Stormare.
If we ever need to rename the show.
Welcome to the Stormare cast.
Yeah. If we ever need to rename the show, I'm just going to call it The Crazy Train with Peter Stormare. This will get past the legal team.
Yeah, weirdly.
It's like the old show, but way overacted. And then the word crazy is just like crazy.
I mean, classics.
Like Prince, just crazy.
At what point does a film stop being a film and become a classic film? Is it time related?
I think time's a factor. I don't think it's the only factor. Okay. I think time, nostalgia is a big piece of it. Of course it is, because you know, it has to be. Because I mean, if you go back and watch, we watch a lot of older films quite regularly, and they don't necessarily hold. They certainly don't hold up on a technical level for the most part, but you remember them fondly because you remember them fondly because they have some childhood attachment or they're relevant to you in some context.
Yeah,
I think it just by its nature has to be very subjective.
I mean, it's obviously, if we go, just an example, bear with me, if we go back far enough, if there would be no argument with me saying something like Gone with the Wind is a classic.
Yeah.
It's Wonderful that Harvey's a classic. You know, Citizen Kane is a classic. There would be no argument, Brookie, and we can start bringing that forward and go, well, Star Wars is a classic.
Sure.
Well, yeah, of course it is.
No argument, yeah.
And okay, we start getting closer. The Goonies is a classic.
Yeah, what would you say?
I'm not even a massive fan of it, and I'd still go with
What would you say a modern day?
I'd still go with the Goonies as a classic, though. Yeah. Even though I'm not a big fan of it.
All right, but we start getting more modern. Shawshank Redemption. Is that just a good film or is it a classic?
As we get older, I guess it becomes a bit. It starts to get into that criteria for selection at the very least, you know.
Because I mean, like, if you think about all the big films of, say, the 90s or early noughties, and think, how would you rate them? Would you say they're just a good film or a classic?
I think that's
that's the thing. I don't think you would say any film in the last couple of years would be a classic.
Not yet. No,
not yet. You might look back on it and go, "Oh, I never really thought Ready Player One was a classic," but apparently it is.
Well,
Tremors 4, there it is.
I think that's a fair point. I mean, I think it's, you know, you wouldn't be able to. There's a certain time before which you wouldn't entertain the notion of it being a classic.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's not been out for over, say,
that is a classic freak weather shark movie.
Yeah.
But I would think
the quintessential one, perhaps.
Yeah. But I would think the most recent film that we would probably could even say, yes, that's a classic now, like 90s, early noughties, I would say would probably be something like Lord of the Rings or The Matrix, maybe.
Does epicness factor in, do you think, in terms of scale and kind of
Not necessarily, because I'm not sure if people look back on, well, for example, Troy, for example. I don't think
Sorry,
anyone's going to look up.
I don't mean to say epicness in the terms of big battles and stuff. What I mean is pop culture penetration. Is that a factor?
Oh, right, sorry.
So like Lord of the Rings had obviously a huge merchandising push, big marketing stuff. A lot of people will understand if you talk about.
I think you might be onto something there.
Maybe like if you say to somebody "my precious," they know what you mean.
Yeah, and they're going to be.
You're a needy
I
ass.
think they can look back on.
Yeah, you're a needy ass bitch. That's what they.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think people look back and go, "Oh yeah, all those Marvel movies, they're classics."
No, I don't think they will.
Some of them, maybe.
Some of them, yeah.
I think the first Iron Man will remain.
First Iron Man will
kicks
definitely,
it all off.
even if the offender
Guardians of the Galaxy.
maybe, yeah. Even if the Offendertrons try and throw Favreau under the bus, I think
What's he done now?
nothing. Being a man, I think, is his crime.
Right.
That seemed to be a thing when he got.
We all have in our darkest hours.
I know, right? Yeah, yeah. The first Iron Man probably. I think you're right. I think that would definitely endure.
You're saying not the Marvel movies. If not the Marvel movies, then what other films recently have penetrated pop culture?
Dark Knight trilogy.
That's a superhero movie.
Yeah, that's fine. You said
yeah,
Marvel.
I suppose
superhero.
maybe people might see the actual
there are
film.
other films beside Marvel.
Yeah.
People might actually
even
look
things
at,
like if Spawn was good, it's like it's not, but if it was,
Darkman.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Take the fucking elephant.
I think
I haven't even seen the film. I just know that because it's an immensely quotable line.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, you should definitely see it. It's an amazing film.
Yeah.
Well, not a classic, but it's an amazing.
That elephant must be at
Not even
least
Sam Raimi's best superhero movie.
maybe actually. Speaking of Sam Raimi and superhero movies, maybe one of the first Spider-Man, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think a lot of people
Not the third
might
one,
refer
certainly.
to The Dark Knight as possibly a classic.
That might work, but that was one
Out of
that
those three,
so that one had big box office push.
Obviously, it had the
massive
whole
remake of Heat.
Yep,
had the whole
massive
death of Heath
pop-
Ledger. Obviously,
death of Heath Ledger around it. I mean, nothing says guaranteed success at the box office like the actor snuffing it before the end. Unfortunately,
Yeah. I don't think the Crow would agree, but okay.
well,
Yeah.
at the time, I guess I don't
What
even
about?
know.
Would you
I'm
say
interested to know that. I might
cult
look it up.
films would have a classic status though? Because I mean,
Define cult film.
Well, the definition of a cult.
well, if you're going to go down the Heath Ledger route, imagine
from
him
someone
and
who has
Dr.
a film
Parnassus.
studies degree and can actually tell you because they studied cult.
Well,
films.
make use of it. Go on.
All right. Yeah.
Right.
It's,
Up yourself,
it's the
Mark.
only chance he gets to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've worked long and hard on for it. A cult film is either one which is intentionally made with the intention of cornering a cult market, something like Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Yep.
specifically targeting fans of the stage musical,
Mhm.
or Alien vs Predator, specifically targeting
A niche,
sci-fi,
yeah.
a niche market, or it is a movie which crashes and burns on its original release and later gets a following on home video. An example of which is Shawshank Redemption.
Or The Room.
The Room.
The Room's.
Yeah.
I mean, that won't be.
I've not
let's
seen
hope.
The Room.
Let's hope.
Yeah, I
'Cause
don't want
if
I
nothing
suppose
else-
in a way, it has gained cult status.
If nothing
by
else,
getting the disaster
cult
artist.
status. Sure, I'm talking about classic status because
God.
I'm an agnostic and I don't want to be pushed over the edge.
Yeah, but Shawshank Redemption totally crashed and burnt in the cinema, but now
really?
it's like
Okay.
a really loved film.
It's a hard sell, I would say.
Yeah.
If you were to say, like, what's coming out of the cinema? Oh, well, there's this movie about a bloke in the prison who keeps trying to escape and, doesn't.
Sounds like
For
a
a while.
Boxing Day movie.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I was trying to say was like smaller budget films, but were good films, but also pushed a bit by having a recent death of an actor, like Imaginarium with Dr. Parnassus. If we're going to if we go back to Heath Ledger,
Or how
Or-
Pete
or,
Postlethwaite completely broke Inception.
Odd Thomas.
What, the tank engine?
Anton Yelchin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, did that really affect the success of Star Trek 3?
No,
I feel like that might have succeeded regardless, though.
Yeah, I don't know that I
Yeah, it's
agree
better
with
than
Blake on
Into
this one,
Darkness.
I'm afraid. I can understand. Heath Ledger was a massively high profile and exceedingly tragic death.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Anton Yelchin wasn't a tragic death as well, because he was far too young to have this horrible
Oh, for
thing
sure,
happen
yeah.
to him. But depressed track.
We'll will it
Free
back.
Will's
So
is
we'll put it back in the sad shed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to build a house here.
Yeah,
Why do we have a depression?
Why do we
garage?
even have the sad shed? It just brings me down.
What was John Hurt's final film?
I'm not sure.
Well, it didn't catapult it to success, obviously. So
Beef
I think-
Vendetta
I
is
don't
the
know
only one,
that.
the most hype, the most recent one I can think of. But there's obviously more since then.
There's been more.
presumably.
No, he's done film. There's been film since then, but
World War II since then, surely.
yeah.
I don't know, probably around the same time, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, V for Vendetta came out just after I stopped working in Ashford Cinema, and I know that because they had some sort of event, and apparently somebody from the film, I believe it was Natalie Portman, was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they would have told you, because they would have told you
yeah.
to get 50 miles away.
Yeah.
Under the terms
50 miles
of
away, aka fuck
under the terms of the reverse lease. I prefer to think of it that in terms of, instead of restraining orders, it's much healthier.
Yeah.
Reverse leases. So go there, away from place.
Yeah.
Anyway, classics.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to say on a
I
more
think
newer film.
this may be the start of a new thing. So Jeremy, and also anybody who's listening, but especially Jeremy, because it was your suggestion, I want you to start, in addition to questions, which I love and I'm exceedingly grateful for, I would like you to just randomly every now and then, excuse me, I'd like you to every now and then just start throwing a film at us and saying classic or not. And just a quick fire thing.
Lethal Weapon 2.
That sort of thing, why not? But it can be anything from the weird and wacky to the seemingly obvious, and we can dissect it, because we have a film studies degree with us.
Yeah.
I studied cinema at university.
2-2. Can't remember 2003.
I did some cinema. I studied cinema at university, for a part of my degree.
And
but
you worked
not,
in the cinema.
I did. This is also true.
I did an AS in film studies, but that's not really as far.
All right.
Good for Blake.
Blake is also here. But we've also, between us, we've seen a shitload of
We've
films.
got Joe as well.
We've got Joe if he's about. He's a film guy.
Spike's pretty knowledgeable films as
Yeah,
well. I
Spike
don't know
knows
if he has
films.
academic qualifications, but he's
worked in the cinema. That was apparently good enough for me.
He's just very knowledgeable about films anyway.
Yeah, this is true.
No, I think I agree. This could be a
thing. This could be a good
thing.
Let's make this a thing. It could even one day,
Classic.
one day it could be a quick fire podcast. Who knows? This is the potential in front of us, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Not to put all the pressure on you, but Jeremy. But yeah, like I say, anybody who wants to send it in, do so. Just
Anyone can ask about
email podcast@emotionally14.com and just call it and just write classic or not in the subject line, and then write in the body of the email just the film you want us to talk
I love
about.
this idea.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot of legs. Like a millipede.
The Prestige.
Yeah.
Yeah, human millipede.
That sort of thing. No, but that's it. Is
Human millipede.
Yeah. I got excited.
Yeah. Plus novel. Yeah.
It just goes on and on and on.
Yeah. Well, get around that with short form, I guess. So, Jeremy, thank you for not only writing in that question, but also starting a thing, which
done,
could
Jez.
become a thing. Always appreciated, mate.
I don't know if he likes being called Jez or not, so I'm doing it anyway.
I don't think he dislikes it.
Okay, fine.
I think he's okay with it.
If I was called Jeremy, I'll go by Jez.
Fair enough. But that's because you like Peep Show.
It helps.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm gonna hold on some of these Jeremy's other questions for future episodes, because we've been going for a little while anyway, and we have a good question that I think will also keep us going. So, well, apart from this one, actually, we'll do a short one from Jeremy. This is one that you put out a call for questions on your Facebook, and for some reason they sent them to you on your Facebook rather than it's people
I knew I'd pass them on when I got here.
Yeah, this is true. But people like to make extra work for me, so I had to go and find them. But
It's extra work for me. I said to you, there's some questions here.
But then, all right. Anyway,
I helped.
you did help. This is true. Yeah, you did, and I appreciate it. Sorry, I know that's your thing. What have I got, Rob? What have you left me? The scraps.
Yeah.
So Jeremy asked, please talk about the trailer for Meg. So Meg, for those who haven't seen the trailer yet, is basically looks like a AAA budget sci-fi movie.
Transportation movie.
Yeah. Which is weird to me because I feel like those are two things that shouldn't bang.
That's what I'm really pleased about it. I'm pleased, and I think I might be one of the few people who kind of enjoys these trash sharky movies. Unironically, I just genuinely think they're fun.
I think, I know what you mean. I think a lot of people enjoy them ironically. I think it's a smaller amount, but there's probably some people who just like, it's fun. Yeah, switch your brain off and put it on like 300.
The book, Meg is based on Meg by Steve. I think it's called The Meg for film.
Right.
It's based on the book Meg by Steve Alton,
which I presume is short for Megalodon.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And the book's been out a fair long while now. It might be coming out 20 years.
It's like the Game of Thrones style adaptation, where it's like, it's been out for ages. Let's do a thing.
Yeah. Certainly, and I've only written and had published one shark-based book.
Yes,
the people
available from Amazon.
The people who read shark books really enjoy it. Unironically, they enjoy the horror and the thriller side of it. So it's Peter Benchley's Jaws was probably the first one.
But it wouldn't work as a romance, would it? It's tough sell.
No, but they don't go into the kind of the yuck goofy Sharknado stuff.
Slide whistle shit.
Yeah, they really genuinely enjoy it, which I think is great.
Cool. Yeah.
Actually, it helps pay my mortgage.
Well, there's that. More power to you if ultimately if you like something and you're not being a dick about it on social media, more power to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need more of you.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, outnumber the dicks.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's what we should be pushing
what it needs to be.
To do.
Outnumber the dicks. That's our new movement. Hashtag.
But knowing that it was is a good book, and it's a book that's very highly thought of, and that the fans of the book will take the genre seriously. It's nice to see some money being thrown at a shark project. Because realistically, there hasn't been one since Deep Blue Sea, really. It was the last big budget shark movie.
I guess so. There was a run of Lake Placid movies. I know they're not sharks, but they're sort of...
Yeah, that ilk.
Yeah, that ilk. There was a run of those.
What was the Blake Lively one called, actually?
Oh.
Blake Sedentary. Can you remember what it was called?
You must be related to her by proxy, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm quite lively sometimes.
Reef?
Yeah. Reef. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
There was one with Kelly Brook that got some mainstream attention as well, mainly because Kelly Brook was in it.
Yeah. She's from around here.
Yeah, it's true.
But there hasn't been. They have become kind of a domain of the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah,
and the Asylum, and I enjoy Asylum movies. They're fine, but they are not the highest budget and most polished productions.
No.
And it would be nice to see the genre being taken seriously. So horror movies are really big at the moment.
Yes,
they've obviously seen what the TV movies are doing with them, and I really hope it works.
Yeah, totally. I'm good with ultimately, I can see movies like trailers like Rampage. Have you seen the trailer for that yet?
Yeah, I'm excited for Rampage.
Yeah, I can see trailers like that, and even if I'm never going to go and see it, I'm good with it existing because I like there to be a variety of things to choose from in case I am in the mood for something silly like that. Because it's very obviously not going to be The Rock's push for a Golden Globe, is it? It's it's a weird tack.
Like it's Stormare as a wolf.
Absolutely.
It looked like you would go for a fuckload of popcorn at the cinema.
Totally. Yeah. Well, I mean, I do anyway. I'm almost out of it.
Handing it.
By the end of the trailers, I'm almost done anyway. At the best of times, I almost go in dual wielding. But then I wouldn't be able to have a drink.
And I'm spent.
Oh my God.
To pace himself, he has to take in some sweet corn and a hairdryer.
3 whole cobs, some films. I mean, fuck, for Troy, I basically just cleared out Sainsbury's vegetable aisle. I don't know why, I've just been a dick that day. Didn't even use it.
Rob, what did you think of the Meg trailer?
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
No.
Blake, what did you think of the Meg trailer?
I literally watched it just before before we went live, and I think
should have
it.
done that.
I think it. Well, that's what I thought you were going to put on. I assumed you'd seen it.
I do about 6 things at once, Blake.
Well, I would have shown it to you when I was watching it.
Put the hairdryer down.
Yeah,
but I need popcorn for 3 days' time.
But well, yeah, no, I like it because I think it does, as you said before. I think it falls into that category of like with the Rampage movie. I think it is this mainstream but big blockbuster B-movie style feel to it, because Rampage is, you know what you're getting with Rampage. It's going to be like a kaiju movie with The Rock, basically. It's going to be giant monsters beating the crap out of things. And
with The Rock also there.
With lots of explosions and CG. And the Meg looks like it will be that, but replacing The Rock with Jason Statham, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, I mean.
And Rainn Wilson.
Yeah. Which is also,
I love him.
Yeah, he's good.
He's great.
Yeah, but okay, it's a bit. It looks like it'll be playing it a bit more serious.
Rainn Wilson was superb
Rampage
in Discovery.
Say again?
He's superb in Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that. And I'm feeling more and more inclined to sign up for Netflix again. Every day.
Yeah, I need to finish.
I don't know what it is.
I need to finish Discovery.
Some weird compulsion. I should be thinking about important shit.
No, but yeah, I think it looked like it's obviously playing it a bit more serious than Rampage is, but I think it will be good. So.
No, I think that's an overwhelming sense of optimism about the trailer for the movie, and
it's going to be better than Jaws 2 to 4. Let's be honest.
Well, there you go. I think that's.
I'm happy to say I've never watched them.
I've had migraines I've enjoyed more than the Jaws sequel.
Everyone, it's a bit like the Highlander movies. I've never seen the Highlander sequels. And the fact that nobody ever sells them to me, I've never felt the need, I'm going to sit down and watch them.
I watched Jaws 2 as a kid because I would take Jaws off TV.
And you like Jaws 1, yeah.
9. But when you're a kid and you really get into a movie and you'll watch that movie multiple times a week.
Return of the Jedi or Moonwalker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Catherine's was Return of the Jedi.
One summer, I must have watched Jaws like 2-3 times a week.
Wow.
I was fanatical about that film. And then I saw on Radio Times Jaws 2 because I was a middle class kid. I saw Radio Times, and Jaws 2 was coming up. I said to my dad, "They did a Jaws 2." He went, "Yeah, they did." "Can you tape it for me?" "All right." "You won't like it." And he was right. I didn't.
Astute man, your father.
Yeah.
I've never
And
felt
yours.
the need to watch it.
I have seen the other two, but kind of since then, and went in knowing they were going to be crap. But that disappointment of a 9-year-old kid going, "This is arse. What went wrong?"
Yeah. No, I can
As
understand that.
franchises go,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a serious step down from 1 to 2. No, I would say,
I've not even watched any. I think I've seen like bits of
I
them.
would
but
say
I
2
don't
is the best of the sequels.
know. Oh dear.
There you go. Number 1's a classic.
It still bugs me that
Yeah.
you could. I know why, but it still bugs me that 2, 3, and 4 is a box set.
So people who really want some Jaws themed coasters.
At least include the. I remember there being a period. I think you can get it on its own now that they did the remake, but there was a period you could not get RoboCop without 2 and 3.
On the subject of DVD box sets, you know what's really getting on my tits at the moment, and it's not any fault of the people making these things. It's purely my issue, and I understand this. DVD sets for series that they know are not finished. You know what I mean? Like Game of Thrones series 1 to 7, when 8 is announced and confirmed, and 8 will be the last one. Just hold off. Just put them in the packaging for 8 when it comes out, and just do a big or do what they did with the 50 Years of Bond and leave a space in the box.
Yeah,
because in the Bond set, it's all the movies up until Skyfall, and then there's a gap. So you can put Skyfall in when it comes out, which is great. That's all you want, because it's included.
Spectre really stands out.
Well, because it's it's 50 years, and that's the box set. Yeah. Skyfall was released within that time. Thus, they included it. Great. That's all I want. What I don't want is to go and... I don't understand the people who've got fucking money to burn, where it's like, well, I would watch my Family Guy 1 to 14 series, but 1 to 15 box set has just been released. So, this one's old hat. So
No, I did... I'm crap when it's come to watching Game of Thrones. I really do need to sit down and do it. And
I don't know that you're crap at watching a TV show. You can just say you're not interested.
No, I do want to watch it
but
eventually.
You don't have to judge yourself so harshly and say, I'm crap at watching
No,
this
it means
series."
that, okay. Maybe that's not the right word then. It's not the right word.
As long as when you get around to doing it, you sit right way round on the chair, you're not crap at watching it.
Why isn't this DVD working? Well, I mean, for a start, that's the microwave.
Oh, it's a wall.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, don't be so down on yourself. You will have to work very hard to be crap at watching a TV.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. Well, for a start, that's a microwave, and that's a panhandle.
Yeah. Well, I find it very hard to binge things anyway.
I can't binge shows. I can't do more than 2 hours of
I can do like 1 or 2 episodes at most.
Yeah,
and then after that, I'm like, oh, no, I've got to watch something else.
I can't do. Yeah, I can't do.
I can.
Weirdly,
do a whole series. I can play video games till the cows come out.
Sure, but that's
an active thing.
Yeah, but it's active, and it's also presenting you something theoretically giving you something completely distinct from time to time to time. Whereas the series is just a narrative continuing, and like Brad said, it's passive. You're just sitting there taking it in.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, especially with some programs like Castle, for example, it's just I like Castle, but it is the same episode every time.
Yeah, I mean, it follows a format. It's like CSI was the same for a while, for a long while, and then they started to actually. Those shows like that, you're more interested in what's happening to the stars in terms of.
My issue with Castle was it was a crime writer who suddenly found himself solving actual crimes.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying, if you replace your man with Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, that's true. Basically, it's murder he wrote.
Yeah.
Did she get worked into the police force though?
I don't know. She ended up in Firefly briefly.
Did she?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Were there a lot of Firefly references throughout?
Sure.
Were a lot of Firefly references throughout? Does she?
This is true. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I hope us talking about Angela Lansbury and Firefly answers your question about the Meg trailer. But then at this point, you know what you've been in for this whole time. When you asked the question, you knew where it would end up. Murder, she sharked. Crazy. That's what we do.
Lansbury and a shark.
Murder, she shark. Murder, shark wrote.
Shark.
Shark, she wrote. All right. So I'm gonna park the other questions from Jeremy.
Okay.
I'm also gonna park. I'm also going to park Rob Dean's.
Parking is awful.
I'm a TIE fighter, apparently.
I'm going to park Rob Dean's question till next time as well, because it's a good,
Sorry, Rob.
it's a great question, but it's also one that could go for hours. I think.
Okay.
So this is a question from Kat.
Okay.
You might be familiar with her.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Oh, Cloud Zombie.
Yeah, a Cloud Zombie on Twitter. Occasionally 14
Occasional
contributor.
yeah.
Absolutely. So, Kat writes, as always, the show is excellent, and I've been following both shows, so that's appreciated. Very nice.
Wait. She said the show is excellent, but she's been following both. So
yeah, so
which
one of them is
does
shit. One of them is us, but I'm not going to tell you which.
Yeah.
Enjoy your neuroses, Rob.
5.
Well, to be fair, we have given production duties of the Gamecast to Captain Scarlet. So,
across.
her question. I've been binge watching older series of Bear Grylls The Island over the last couple of weeks. The latest series has just started on Channel 4. Blake, confirm or deny? Has that been happening?
I can confirm.
All right,
this.
cool.
I've woken up in the middle of the night to
She's been grilling a bear.
to Catherine
In her own
grilling a
piss.
bear, and has caught an iguana last time I checked.
Yeah.
Grilling a bear. It's like, you're crap at watching that show.
Oh, Blake woke up. Better drink my own piss. So her questions are. So these feed into each other. This particular bit. She has another question that's kind of
That
themed off
drips
it, but
into
that
it.
one's going to be saved for next time as well.
Okay.
So the question is, first of all, do you enjoy any reality TV shows, and if so, which ones? And 2, if you were to host a reality TV show, what would it be about? Brackets. It can be made up, but hopefully Blake's answer won't be Red Shirt Island. That would be a really. Which one's gonna? Oh, all of them. Episode 2.
Well, join us for next series.
The secret
again.
red shirt.
I'm not a fan of like reality TV game show stuff like Bake Off,
Right.
like that. As anyone who's been my Facebook friend for a few years will attest.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Definitely.
only one I genuinely enjoy is Rod Gilbert's work experience, which is Rod Gilbert goes and does a different job.
Yeah.
They're often quite off the wall.
Yeah. Okay.
jobs he
Fair
ends
enough.
up doing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they're usually he genuinely tries so hard at the job as well, and he comes
Yeah.
off really endearing, and he
But ultimately useless.
mostly,
Yeah.
but generally you end up like a really. He did one very recently on air stewards and stewardesses.
Okay.
And the amount of work they have to do.
Oh,
is
totally. Yeah. They're
genuinely
hugely.
incredible.
They're hugely busy.
Yeah.
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 Plus, there's so many restrictions on them as well. I couldn't be one. I'm actually forbidden
Too tall.
because I'm too tall. Yeah. You actually, there's a height limit, and there's a.
And I'm sarcastic as fuck.
Can I have some peanuts, please? Get cunted. Welcome to Crazy Air.
Yeah.
Next stop, Ireland, probably. What do you mean?
Nick.
I'm supposed to be going to Berlin. Well, you fucked that up, didn't you?
Yeah. The exits to Fuck Island are here, and here.
No, first we take you to Manhattan.
Then we skip Manhattan straight to Berlin. Because every
Rod
other.
Gilbert's work experience is well worth checking out.
Okay.
I enjoy that. And also it's Rod Gilbert who,
Yeah,
gets
good laugh.
sarcastic Welshman.
He's a good laugh.
Yeah.
Blake, any particular highlights for you, apart from the ones that you might imbibe secondhand, like smoke?
Yeah, as I say, I don't really watch reality shows per se. I mean, I find them very, I don't know, weirdly too formulaic for my
Shocker.
enjoyment.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know. I mean, Catherine's been telling me about I've not actually watched the Bear Grylls Island. I've thought that she's been watching it without me.
Just a quick question, just to make sure I'm 100% clear on this.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch Castle, you do watch different episodes. You haven't got repeat on.
Fuck. I really am shit at this, aren't I?
I'm crap at watching series. Why? I leave repeat on by accident.
Fuck, I thought I was on series 5.
Yeah. I have watched The Island, and they always seem to be the same people in the same situations every fucking week. To be fair, it does sound like The Island.
I thought they would have starved to death by now. They've never found food.
I've never gone in for Big Brother.
No,
anything like
I've never.
that.
They've never really interested me. The ones I do watch, we watch quite a few here. Come Dine With Me is quite entertaining.
Okay.
That's kind of a reality show, I guess,
To a degree, yeah.
to a degree. Anything with Gordon Ramsay in it, because I fucking love him.
Yeah,
He's
fun.
hilarious. Like the Kitchen Nightmares and the Hell's Kitchen. Less so. We went through a phase of binging that at one point. But more Kitchen Nightmares and Hotel Hell, the ones where he's going to places and sort of giving them a bit of a reality check. I quite enjoy watching people get reality checks. I don't know why that is.
That's what would be my show, actually.
There you go.
Blake's Appreciation Kitchen.
You're not going to reverse Gordon Ramsay.
It's basically me being Gordon Ramsay. Not, well, I might swear a bit, obviously, but it's just like.
Oh, that's fucking lovely.
Yeah. I'll be going to like really shit restaurants and trying to see the good in it. So,
The colouring in was nice.
Yeah, it's I've gotten as many cockroaches as the last place I was in.
I mean,
and you deep fried them, so
Yeah.
I like my steak well done. I mean, black is a form of well done. Like, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
I like chips cold.
Yeah, it's you know, I mean, what other soups can't you have gazpacho besides chicken?
Yeah. I didn't want gravy with my turkey.
No, it's fine.
Chicken tartare, they say.
When I had my turkey, I want it arid.
Check in the following day. I'm sure I was vomiting about something else.
I think I'm in arable.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get to like episode 3 and I'm just doing the rest of it from hospital.
Yeah. Blake has had to record the rest of the series from an iron lung. Anyway, yeah, so the Ramsey ones I like. And then First Dates has its moments.
I know that one.
So that one is, there's a restaurant where they film it, and it's basically the whole premise of the restaurant is if you sign up to dine at this restaurant, you are being arranged on a blind date with somebody. They match you up like, you know. Do you see that show where they married people off, where it was like they met for the first time at their wedding?
It was a Mooney cult, wasn't it?
And, yeah. But yeah, there was a show about that as well.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was called, but there was a whole thing about that. You know, they got married. The first time they met was their wedding day. They were matched by science, and then
He was busy.
yeah, and then they'd go on honeymoon, and they'd be sent somewhere nice, and then they'd come back and they'd have to live together for 6 weeks in a place that they'd sort of sectioned off for it, and then at the end they decide.
Being the operative word.
Well, yeah, at the end they decide if they wanted to stay married based on those 8 weeks or whatever, and. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 they decide to split up by the end, but sometimes they last a few more months.
Okay, cool.
You know, I don't think they've had any successful who've stayed together and endured rather.
I think it was the period where they sectioned me that I didn't really get on with.
I think maybe it's just called So You Married a Stranger or something, some unimaginative title.
So they had you sectioned.
So you're a moron.
Yeah. Did you just try to section me?
Is that Auntie Kath?
Oh, I was only
I
recurring.
really fucking hope I haven't got an Auntie Kath now. I'm pretty sure I don't, but it wouldn't surprise me.
My daughter does, yeah.
This is true.
Writes in questions.
This is true, yeah. So yeah, those are my choices in terms of the ones that we watch. You know, not regularly, but if they're on, let's watch that, and just it's background noise. Usually when I'm playing Switch, to be honest.
You're not watching them then.
I'm kind of taking them in like a little bit, but I'm generally not.
Reality programs is
Why
a
your
weird
own child
term.
mugs you?
Reality programs is a weird term, isn't it? Because we already had a term for reality programs, which was documentary.
Yeah.
But the fact we don't call them documentaries kind of acknowledges they're not actually that real.
Yeah, and what's really weird is these ones like The Only Way is Essex, where it's what's called scripted reality.
It's a soap opera.
It's a soap opera with. It's like surely scripted reality is also EastEnders because they're people. Like, I don't understand what the difference is.
That lizard lick towing is obviously so fake, it's hilarious.
Yeah, well, yeah, you go.
Yeah.
You know, this is.
So,
As to what would I host?
something to do with your Noomies?
I would do like The Secret Millionaire.
The secret poor bastard.
The Secret Destitute one.
Secret trash wizard.
But in terms of I would go to different that's not right, is it? It's because that's one company and they do it for the whole. They do different jobs in the same company. I think probably what I would do is play to what I do now, and rather than just retweet people who do projects, I would actually go and interview them and kind of spotlight them on TV. I guess that would be my thing. Basically, the podcast I always talked about doing, Creation Station, I would just make that a series. Yeah. So we could have Appreciation Station, Creation Station, Brad, preferably something that rhymes with station.
Yeah.
This could be the crazy station. It's just called Station. Statham Station. It's just I just watch Jason Statham movies and then tell you what I think.
Generally all right.
Yeah. Generally fine. Yeah. He's the fucking bomb. He's the fucking bomb in Spy. He's great in that movie.
I also loved him in Snatch. I think that's
he's good. Yeah, he's really good in Snatch. Yeah. And actually, I liked the even though they're one of those ones that's ironically silly, Crank. Those Crank movies are fucking stupid as fuck. But I reviewed them very highly for E14 because they did exactly what E14 movies should do, which is there was violence everywhere, loads of cursing and tits.
Yeah. No,
what more could you want?
I think he knows the kind of projects he gets involved in.
Yeah,
as well.
he's got a good choice in when he goes in for a script. He knows what he's in for.
I think he does stuff that he thinks will be fun to make, and that comes across.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's clearly having fun with things like Spy and Crank and Transporter. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's very obviously not going, this is what's going to win me that Golden Globe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Oh, you know.
He fits within his own...
Yeah, he's carved himself out a good role.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you host if you had a choice?
I'm not really good at anything, so it's hard for me
That's
to...
the spirit.
It's hard for me to think. I can't think of a situation where I'd ever be approached by...
Self-deprecation station. Can still fit it.
I would host a reality TV show where I interview young hopefuls about a reality TV show I've just made up that week and see if they go for it.
Oh, that's awesome. Imagination Station. That's great. I actually quite like that.
Yeah. Every week, trying to convince people this reality show is going to be made.
I think even if that might work as a sketch comedy as well, like, cool. You know...
Get me a GoPro and I'll do it.
Right. Well,
tax deductible.
There's one in the drawer.
Yeah.
You have to go... Is it like you actually getting people to join your program as if you were casting for it? Or is it like you're trying to pitch it to like a bunch of dragons?
Well, hang on. This actually is starting to sound like Bang Bus.
No, it feels like, I'm doing a show called Britain's Best Mechanic, and then interview a series of mechanics to try and convince them to come on my show.
Well, I thought there was
going to be a mechanic off.
Yeah, no, I thought there was going to be two sides to it.
No, like they're all given fucked up Chevrolets, and they've got to fix them as quickly as possible.
Incidentally, Mechanikov sounds like a Russian oligarch.
But I also like the idea. Yeah. I also like the idea where there's two. You've got two. Because I also like the idea that you personally have two challenges. One of them is you've got to try and persuade a load of people to actually join your show. But the other part is you've got to successfully pitch it to an audience.
But jokes on them, so I've already successfly pitched the Meta show.
Well, yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
To E14 TV.
Well, fine, I'll give it a go. Yeah. But, I'm up for conning people. Crazy legal disclaimers, I don't encourage conning people.
Crazy. Reverse legal disclaimers, he does. It's the first time we've ever counted one of those.
Yeah, this is my new show. It's called This Is for Steve. You have to punch a stingray.
That was a weird one I saw today on Twitter. There was a picture. Bindi Irwin, his daughter, put up a picture saying, I like to have... it's nothing like a tarantula cuddle. His name is Alvin, or whatever the hell its name was. Somebody quoted the tweet and said, I was going to make a comment about how white people are so crazy, but seeing as it's you, I'll let it go. So, first of all, fuck off, you racist. Second of all, what? Why does anybody get a pass? Why is it more crazy when somebody who's not Bindi Irwin does it? Because she could have very easily just become, a chartered surveyor.
Yeah.
Maybe she has. But I don't understand why it makes it okay.
Unfortunately, it was written into his will that he had to go into animal conservation.
Crocky, I fucked up my daughter's future. Oh, she looks angry.
She hates it when I does that.
Yeah. I think these are three good shows. Yeah, he did his. Yeah, I think these are shows. I think these are shows with legs. I think we've actually got a pitch. So
8 legs.
Yeah. What was your one again?
Appreciation Kitchen.
That's it. Appreciation Kitchen. So Blake's Kitchen Dreams, the Creation Station,
the Appreciation Station,
the Creation Station, and the Imagination Station.
The Meta Show.
Yeah, the Meta Show. I like that. So you want to host a blank, and that's the name of the show. So you want to be on blank.
Yeah.
And you just actually say the word blank. You don't even leave it like underscores. It's just so you want to be on blank. Anyway, Kat, I hope that answers your question.
Just mentioned the name of the title and Catherine Ryan signed on already.
Well, that's it. It doesn't take much, it turns out. Yeah. Do you have a pilot? Sure. Yeah. He thinks he's on America's Next Best Pilot. But we have a pilot, sure.
Joey Essex has turned up as well.
Yeah.
That's a fortunate surname, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's quite a nifty one, yeah. Anyway, I think that's a good place to bring the Crazy Train to an hour and 17.
Didn't we?
No, the average is about 1 hour 7. Yeah.
Give us stats, man.
Yep. Yep. I thought of him again the other day. I was just like, I didn't go.
Well,
I didn't
until
go. Whatever happened to him? Because I know he's dead.
Well, until I watched the Meg trailer, I hadn't think of what Meghan Trainor was getting up to.
No, this is true. I understand she's into bass.
Yeah.
That's about it, really.
Well,
and
yeah.
more songs. I know she had a thing with.
and Giant Shark.
unaware that she's a one-hit wonder, isn't she?
I think so. Yeah.
Stumbling along there.
Yeah, stumbling.
That's right. I'm a non-hit
Is
wonder.
there-
Stumbling and bumbling.
Is there
the
a
Jeff
period
Beck
of-
song we all want?
A bit like classics. Is there a period of time where you realise that you're a one-hit wonder?
I think when you don't get a second hit, it's generally considered it.
Yeah.
Mm.
What if you... Well, no, I suppose he was still a one-hit wonder.
When your
when
first
Peter Andre disappears, comes back, and then still remains a one-hit wonder.
The same song.
your first booking at a university student
I've
union
written a new
event,
song. You haven't, Peter.
you've remixed. It's called a remix
Yeah.
when it's the same one again.
You're famous for banging someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one else has banged her.
No, this is true. Exactly. Yeah, it's not exactly a big pool.
No.
The difference is, the other people at least had something else going for them.
The difference is you're weirdly more likeable.
Somehow.
Yeah.
You cooking oil motherfucker.
Yeah. I think you realise you're a one-hit wonder the first time you get a student union booking.
Yeah.
So, would you play at this university? Sure. Ah, fuck.
Damn it, I said yes.
I said yes. What did I do that for?
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Daphne and Celeste.
Well, my university was really proud of the fact that Robbie Williams once played there. What they weren't so proud of was the fact it was just the week after he'd left Take That.
Ah, okay. When he was persona non grata in
Yeah,
the pop
pretty
world,
much.
yeah. I don't know who were there famous ones at Canterbury? I'm not sure. They had a couple of famous graduates, nobody I'd heard of, but they were undeniably known people. But I hadn't personally heard of them.
Yeah, we had a couple played. We had the Killers, but kind of before they were famous, and Greg Davies, but before he was
Oh,
famous.
nice. Yeah, I wished I'd taken the opportunity before they became big to go and see Maroon 5 because I could have gone and seen them in Camden for a tenner.
Oh, cool, nice.
Yeah,
They're
but
really good.
yeah, I saw them as a support band the week before the gig, and I was like, I wish I'd known. I'd have gone and seen them, but
Yeah, sure.
then they exploded, and it was like, yeah, I'm never paying a £10. Yeah.
That was a hell of a show.
Welcome to Rob's Exploding Bands.
On the bright side,
That was a Killers, wasn't
it's probably a classic song. Yeah, yeah, we were yeah.
You're automatic. Anyway.
Anyway, yeah, so thank you for listening to The Crazy Train. If you've enjoyed the show and you haven't already done so, you should subscribe. And there's loads of different places you can do that. I'm going to list off some of them now, and I will probably miss some, but you can find them on the web. So we're on Apple Podcasts.
Do your own damn homework.
Exactly. Just fucking Google it. Educate yourself or whatever the kids say nowadays.
Educate before yourself before you educate yourself.
What he said. So you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube.
Spotify.
I did that one.
Okay.
Libsyn.
Whatever the Apple one's called.
Podchaser.
Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Podbean. You can find us on Echo. Yeah, Stitcher. You can find us on Echo by asking any pod to play The Crazy Train for you, and it will do that. No, I didn't ask the right thing. It's fine. You have to be listening to Jurassic Park audiobooks for it to fuck up that way. True story. Or watching videos about certain WWE women's wrestlers. That was a fun 20 minutes. What culture. You do fuck me inadvertently. I think that's the main ones.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, but say you can search the Crazy Train podcast on Google and you'll get all the different types that aren't the ones I've already listed. Part of the Britpod scene, so you can find about that by searching the hashtag Britpod scene or BritpodScene.com. There's a Facebook page. We've got a Facebook page for Emotionally 14. We've got a Facebook group for the Crazy Train podcast, so join in there, have some fun. We've also got Twitter at Emotionally 14. You can email podcast at emotionally14.com and get your questions in for next time. Like I say, we have got a lot from Jeremy, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be all about Jeremy. It's a lot of pressure to put on the poor man, so...
Crazy legal disclaimers, it does have to be all about Jeremy.
Yeah, it does, He is like the fourth man in most episodes, unless we have four men, in which case he's the fifth.
Yeah.
No, I think he should stay as the
Sometimes he should, or sometimes he's still just the fourth, yeah. To be fair, in some ways, he's the second, because he gets the discussions going.
He's a good guy, too.
Yeah, he is. He's a good egg.
Find you on social media.
Well, this is the question, isn't it?
Credits.
That'll be the period just, it's the question, isn't it? And then,
Just end the episode.
end the episode there.
Yeah. Blake, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Harmer the Appreciator. Find me on Twitter at FucksakeBlake. And you can find me on Facebook if you can find
You're
me.
in the group, so people can talk to you in the
And
group.
I'm
can't
on
they?
the group,
Yeah.
yes, so contact us that way.
Brad.
I'm at RealBradHB on both Twitter and Instagram. You can search for Brad Harmer Barnes on Facebook, and you can buy my books from Amazon.
Yes, you can, and you can use the Emotionally 14 Amazon widget to do so. You can find that on emotionally14.com, which is the website that I neglected to mention a minute ago. Kind of important. It's the source of most of our YouTube traffic. So there's that. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at RobWadeVision. Like I say, emotionally14.com, and I'm also on talkstarwars.co.uk. You can find me there too.
All right.
Yeah, so...
I mean, we're friends anyway.
Well, indeed, yeah. You know, ultimately, we're going to find each other's stuff no matter what. This is more for the benefits of people who don't know us personally, of which there are fucking millions.
We've become friendships that have been together so long, we're kind of aware we're just going to die of old age together anyway.
There's that, yeah.
With Peter Stormare.
Yeah.
Oh, God, if he's looking after us in the care home.
Oh, God.
That's a sitcom I'd write the fuck out of.
Just having pills lobbed at your face at 40 miles an hour. Medicine!
Oh, Peter, please come on the show.
Yeah, Peter Stormare, open invite still there.
Yeah, open invites to Peter Stormare and Dee Snider if you're listening.
Yeah, why not? Anyway, thanks for listening. Peace.